Woke up late, charts on fire, red and green like a funeral pyre. Discord screaming LFG, but my portfolio's haunting me. Spiked my coffee with regret. Last night I longed to break out bet. Now I'm broke, not broken yet. Just one more pump I won't forget. Buy high, die huddling. The gen brain dopamine's controlling. Ride the whale, get wrecked clean. This crypto dream's a guillotine. Fake guru with 1,000 subs showed me coins in shady clubs. Promised moons, Lambos and jets. Now I'm left with JPEGs and debts. Scalped my soul in a 5-minute chart. Market dumped and it ripped my heart. But I'll reload, I'll play to win. Even if I lose it all again. Buy high, die huddling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. Almost gone, greed's the king. This crypto dream's a punk rock thing. In the glass, risk it all, no brakes, full gas. Liquidation, call me sweet. Whisper welcome to defeat. No stop loss, no regrets. Code and chaos, no safety nets. Satoshi's ghost in my DMs told me to ape again and again. Buy high, die huddling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. If I crash, at least I tried. In this wild west of blockchain rights. I'll be trading till the lights go out. Charts are noise, but I live for the sound. One candle spike, and I'm back in town. Crypto's a fight, and I'm 10 toes down. Diamond hands with the crack in the glass. Risk it all, no brakes, full gas. But I'll reload, I play to win. Even if I lose it all again. Woke up late, charts on fire, red and green like a funeral pyre. Discord screaming LFG, but my portfolio's haunting me. Spiked my coffee with regret. Last night I longed to break out bet. Now I'm broke, not broken yet. Just one more pump I won't forget. Buy high, die huddling. The gen brain dopamine's controlling. Ride the whale, get wrecked clean. This crypto dream's a guillotine. Fake guru with 1,000 subs showed me coins in shady clubs. Promised moons, Lambos and jets. Now I'm left with JPEGs and debts. Scalped my soul in a 5-minute chart. Market dumped and it ripped my heart. But I'll reload, I'll play to win. Even if I lose it all again. Buy high, die huddling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. Almost gone, greed's the king. This crypto dream's a punk rock thing. In the glass, risk it all, no brakes, full gas. Liquidation, call me sweet. Whisper welcome to defeat. No stop loss, no regrets. Code and chaos, no safety nets. Satoshi's ghost in my DMs told me to ape again and again. Buy high, die huddling. Gas fees burn,
What's up, guys? How's it going? Who we have in the chat? We got Noah, Coma, Moho, Shantae. What's up? Sterling, how's it going, Sterling? Robert, Bitcoin to 12K. Not too worried about that one. But yeah, DC and carry on. Exactly, yeah. Shy Owl, how you doing? Infinite Team TA, Gear, V Monitor, Bull Runner 76, Soul Train. What's up, guys? How's it going? I hope you've been having a profitable week so far. I know it's only Wednesday. Okay, let's go through the Bitcoin's price action. It's gotta been kind of fun. We've had decent bounce here since the moment we got this change character occurrence during this moment. Right, we flipped bullish there on the 15, then we flipped bullish here on the hourly, then we flipped bearish again on the 15 when we broke this low. This was a good key level to prepare for shorts. I didn't get the structure that I wanted, so I didn't take the short, but I just knew that if anyone's in existing longs, this is a moment where you'd want to prepare to get out. If we had this uptrending momentum break, we had the descending double top, which is the main reason why I didn't enter, is because we didn't get the change character that I normally would want to look for when jumping into shorts. It's like my structural confluence rule when I want to take a trade. Even though we met the key zone, the structure just didn't paint the picture that I wanted to have painted. If we zoom in on the 5 minute, it's a little easier to see. We had a descending double top right here, and we broke that neckline, used it as resistance during this moment, stop loss above the unclaimed high. Then we got the bearish change of character shortly afterwards, making this the strong high. Then going forward from that moment, you could have used every newly created strong high as your evolved stop loss guard, until eventually coming down to our key area of interest. I made a post last night that I was preparing for a long once they tapped into this zone. The reason being is because this is a 4-hour order block. We had this bit of a hammer doji kind of structure here to here, and then we had the engulfing candle creating the 4-hour order blocks. When we came down here, we had that confluence for a bounce. And if we zoom in on the 15 minute, and then we pull a fib from that low to the high, we had the golden pocket and 786 confluence zone right on the ceiling of that order block. Right, so we had good confluence for a bounce. Unfortunately, I didn't jump in because it was around like 1 a.m. when we got that hammer candle. Some people might have jumped in on it, but this morning we were watching for potential continuations on longs, and we didn't want to jump in on a long because of this guy right here. We had a really good start of the morning with a really bullish 15-minute orb, and we closed above the VWAP the moment we printed it. We got above it, low time frame support off of it too. And then we ended up hitting our head off the hourly order block in the supply zone here. That's the main reason why I didn't want to jump on the continuations, because right in our face we had that bearish confluence warning us that we could come down. So if you got in around here, you had lots of time to react to that kind of reaction, right? When we had the we flipped bearish during this moment in the low time frame, so that goes like the 2 minute, the 3 minute as well. We had the order block print, engulfing candle, bearish engulfing candle response for the tweezer top, and that tweezer top also confirmed right inside of the orb, so that warns you of rotation to the bottom side of it. So yeah, we started to come right back down. This is an area right now that you could prepare for longs. Now we need to have the structural confluence. The downside with the nature of this frustrating style of drop is that we don't have any like proper pullback. anywhere up until now, right? So in order for us to get the bullish change of character, we need to have a lower low. And then this will become our new strong high within the 3 minute internally. And if we break that, and you can start to get your bull goggles ready. But right here is an area of concern. Right at the base of the top of where the previous 4-hour order block was, we can actually make some adjustments to this. Now that we've mitigated that 4-hour order block. So a lot of area of interest down here. It's like the unmitigated part of the order block. But the moment an order block is tapped, there are certain traders that have rules to themselves saying that they will not use it as a tool for an entry going forward. And there's others that want the whole thing mitigated. I'm kind of the trader that sees like once we tap the equilibrium point, it's not really an order block anymore. We're beyond that point now. We have some like resting below us. We just tapped into like a 5-minute order block here. We have another one here. And we're sweeping the liquidity from this low. So I'll be more comfortable for a long if we maybe took out this local low here, get that bullish change character, and prepare for it to ride back up towards the OR 15 here, where it likely will act as resistance the first time around. We have the confluence of these previous lows for this tight range that we had here, and the OR 15 being flush with those lows. So if we get that bullish reaction, we got to prepare for this to be a barrier along the way up. But if we get acceptance within it and get above that VWAP, then we can start targeting these local highs again over here in hopes that this turns into a giant double bottom for a stronger continuation up, right? And this being the potential front run move to this break. Lots of babysitting along the way though. We have the babysit here, we have the babysit right here, and then we'll have to babysit here. And keep an eye out on the chart and see if we have any. What I mean by babysit, by the way, I basically mean like look for opposing bearish reactions. Like where if you were to think to yourself, oh, I should short this while you're in an existing long, it's usually a good warning sign to tell you to take some profits. So yeah, if we jump in long here, we have to watch for a bearish change of character here, a bearish change of character here, and see what kind of reactions we get off those two levels, and then in hopes that we break this neckline and get the strong continuation up towards the 97-day previous point of control at like 97 or 96.8 kind of area here. So I'm looking for that bullish reaction right now. We're at a good key area of interest in a macro picture. Like if we zoom out and we see the bigger picture here, we are testing these previous highs right here. When we deviated outside of this valley area that we kind of stepped in after we used it as support for this leg up and came down, this valley area, we're kind of deviated below it, which we have many times before, getting an aggressive reaction and bringing us back up to 101K. And if we do get that kind of aggressive reaction after getting acceptance in the valley area, then 1K is actually a good area of 101K is a good area of confluence because of the fact that we had those this previous lows here, our valley area high here. So we'd have to watch our head at the previous point of control, but that would be a good spot to prepare for an exit plan on any potential swing trade, because we could really hit our head off of that and come right back down. Yeah, but a lot of the larger time frame posture is awkward because we haven't had any proper pullback up until like this 107K area. So in order for us to flip bullish on a majority of time frames above the hourly, like the 4-hour or the 6-hour, we have to break this high. The 4-hour, we got this high here, I believe. Yeah, this high here at 96K. So a lot of swing traders are going to have to hope for the lower low to be taken so we can evolve our key level where that double bottom neckline is that we were talking about before. So if we get that lower low or the SFP sweep, then this becomes our key level that we have to have broken instead of waiting for way up here. And then you'll start seeing all the open mouth thumbnails again from people saying that we're going to the moon or whatever. But I'm thinking, yeah, 101K is going to be a strong opposing level to watch. We never got the SFP here. We got the break structure instead. We needed to have this candle stay above this WEC level. So we're not going to get the SFP off that. We could get the sweep off these lows here, which is more preferable when you're trading SFPs. You want them to be on the extreme highs and extreme lows of an active range. You don't want to really be doing them in the internal stuff unless you have like a low time frame exit plan. We got the proper pullback on the 5-minute. So this is our strong key level here now. So we'll flip bullish on the 5-minute if we close above this level here. NVIDIA earnings today. Thanks for reminding me. I was looking at that yesterday. So that could cause a good conduit for a reversal today if those earning reports are good on NVIDIA. So keep your ears to the ground for that. Thanks for bringing that up. Especially the AI sector stuff. Farmer skipped in the shoutouts. I'm sorry, bro. I didn't see you. Good morning, man. We have the chat now that we're kind of cut to the TA stuff. Did my Bitcoin spiel. Basically, summary of what I'm preparing for, guys, is just a bullish change of character reaction at or just around these lows here. I prefer to have the sweep of the low so we can have this become and evolve into a like higher time frame key level. The market structure, if you know proper pullbacks, unclaimed highs, break of structure, right? SFPs are great because they speed up the process of what you want to wait when you're waiting for like a change of character. So if you have the pullback, and let's say we don't get the SFP off of this high here, or sorry, if we get the SFP off this high here instead of the break of structure, then our strong, think of it like almost as if the strong low evolves to this area here. Even if we don't get the break of structure. And if we get that taken, then it becomes a change of character. And that gives you a strong reversal warning. So the SFP is a good front run to the change of character. When you get the change of character, it tells you to hold your trade. And then you start looking at key levels like order blocks, your Fibonacci levels along the way down for your exit plan going forward. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for down here. It's a sweep of that low. So this becomes a good key level for the higher time frames like the 4-hour. So we get more trade participants coming in faster, like more buyers coming in when this breaks. Because the liquidity up above this area could be used as sell side liquidity or buy side liquidity. But this kind of posture sets you up for a good pump. All right, we're getting lower. Nice. Just need to get that sweep. Get my magnet tool out. Top of the morning. What's up, DJ? Mac? Can we look at STRK for macro analysis? There's a lot of talk on social media about this project, and it's been going up a while. Everything else is crashing. Yeah, Zcash too, doing really well. Yeah, we can take a look at STRK. How are we doing with the challenge? Still on? Yeah, still on, but I am making some changes to make things a heck of a lot easier for you guys to follow me. And I'm almost done them. I'm really close to being done them. I'm hoping to have it all sent out to you guys tomorrow, actually. Let's see. Let's begin the chat. Sal, what's up? Good morning. Matrix. Kilelchi, if I said your name right. Aaron, Manibox, Digital Sleep Aid. What's up, guys? Alright, our 5-minute level is just evolved to here. So we need to have if we can get another pullback first. Just give us another pullback. You want to have a pullback just before an SFP sweep. Even if it's like a higher time frame SFP you're preparing for. That way you can have a low time frame structure give you that, like say for example there's like a 4-hour SFP here. If you have pullbacks in the lower time frame structure right before that sweep occurs, then you can have lower time frame structure giving you like a bullish change of character to help bring more confidence in taking that trade. Then you have strong lows on that time frame guarding your capital. Right now, we have a proper pullback here. Well, you do want to have one just prior. That'd be great. Then get that sweep. Like I see people take like low time frame SFPs all the time, but those ones are tough to dissect what's going on internally that might tell you the story that the trade's going to be on your favor or not. That's one thing I like about higher time frame SFPs is that you have all the time in the world to look inward to see if there's any internal confluences that'll tell you the story too, right? So are we going lower? Are we going to reverse from here or not? An hourly order block right here. I didn't notice that until now. So with this order block, it's perfectly flush with the 15-minute orb, so we don't really need to mark it because it's kind of already labeled by confluence. So we know that the confluence is there. 15-minute. Oh, we only have one candle pullback. So it seems like the highest time frame where we're going to get the change of character from, based on the current posture, is like the 5-minute. If we get that SFP sweep. Let's take a peek at this question here. I'm not sure if you went over this before, but if I want to accumulate Bitcoin, do I use coin margin futures on MEXC so I can use leverage? It doesn't have to be on MEXC, but coin margin futures, if you've already proven to yourself that you have, and you journal it, and you've proven yourself that you're a profitable trader in the futures environment and not just the spot environment, then yeah, I would suggest definitely doing that, because you'll be able to compound and scale much faster doing coin margin trades. It's a cool way to accumulate without giving up your asset, right? You can buy, for example, $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and then keep scalping your normal trading rules using Bitcoin as collateral, and then you're kind of set for when we start to rally back up because you've accumulated more Bitcoin during that moment. And mathematically, you're more profitable using coin margin in longs than you do with USDT because your collateral is growing in value alongside your position. But mathematically, it's less profitable to do it while shorting because your collateral is going down in value while you're shorting. But it does sometimes help mitigate the loss as you're going down. So if you're using like 2x leverage as, and let's say you use full balance when you shouldn't, but if you use a full balance trade and use 2x leverage as we're going down, and you're right on your position, then you'd be basically mathematically breaking even until we start to reverse, and you close that trade because you'd have more Bitcoin to grow alongside its reversal in terms of dollar value. I usually reserve coin margin futures for macro swing trades, but you can use them in any environment. Coin margin futures is the reason why I am where I'm at right now. Like, it changed my life. Okay. TRD Farmer, you use BingX for coin margin. Yeah, BingX will have more. They have more reserves than MEXC, definitely, for sure. And there's less slippage. I believe MEXC, they limit you to how much you're allowed to trade with because their reserves are so low. The reserves are very volatile, guys. And that's probably what started that rumor where they were going insolvent. But Jeanette, how you doing? Is BingX still safe in your inspections? Yeah, I look at they're still part of my routine for looking at reserves, like BingX, BitGet, Bybit. And Bybit's one we'll probably never have to worry about. Yeah, I got a whole list on my morning routine here. Can we look at basic attention token? Yeah, we can do that. Okay, let's get to the request because Bitcoin's going to be chugging along very slowly on this potential setup here. All right, the first request was STRK, I believe. Yeah, STRK, Teo, Solana, and then basic attention token. Okay. ST. Yeah, we haven't done TA enough on that one to create a chart for it. It's Starknet. Zooming out on Starknet, we got. All right, we're coming into that little final supply zone. During its October 10th crash, it went all the way down to 0.2. Yeah, 0.3 cents. Crazy. Looks like the pace of the buyers are starting to shift, which is nice. Yep. And we broke momentum from its high. Its all-time high here. So it looks like its first liquidity. We had this supply zone here, kind of like weighing down the price action. But it's just been fully mitigated during this moment. You'd want to mark your previous highs right here. So we come down, we could test them as local support. You can mark your fixed range volume profile to get an idea of. There we go. Yeah, so we need to have, since we came down to retest the value area high, we need to close above this area here. Because we haven't really confirmed that we're going to be leaving this value area completely just yet. Even though, percentage-wise, this is a pretty darn big move. Like from this value area low to the value area high itself is 56%. And since we left the value area, we've pumped another 50%. Let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah, so that basically what I'm worried about is because we just went up, like, just doubled in value. And so we have this bearish change of character here on the 4 hour, get acceptance into the value area, break below this 200-day EMA. Then we can start rotating back down to the value area low again. But the good news is, like, there's a crap ton of confluence here keeping it up as well. The value area itself, We got a 4-hour order block, the 200-day EMA I mentioned. This demand zone that's holding us up to help result that bounce. So the more we consolidate here, the better. And we start looking left at our previous consolidative ranges to see and find our key levels that we need to watch out for as resistance. And we have a good strong valley area here before we use it as support here and ran up. So we'll mark our valley area low. That's all I'm going to mark for now, and the valley area high, and then this is a supply zone. And then we'll mark the supply. Yeah, so this will be our next area of interest that we got to watch out for. Up here we got 6-hour order block, we got the previous valley area low, we got supply there. So if you get that continuation and you're in an existing long, where's my pathing tool? What's going on here? This is where you prepare for that opposing bearish change of character. If we maintain momentum until there, then we should get there within the next 9 days. If you don't, if we have that bearish change of character, this is a good spot to prepare for one. Low time frame internally. We have our SFP. We have a proper pullback here during this moment, so that makes this the SFP target from this high here to here. We're basically at that target already since we got the SFP, but if we get the change of character, like bearish change of character by breaking that low with a full body candle, let's see, our target would then evolve. And you look for key levels and liquidity to target from there. So based on the pathing, we have order flow from these breaks of structure here, 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 and here. We have liquidity likely resting below here without checking the liquidation heat maps. You'd find what you'd look for on the heat maps is some pooled liquidity pools. So let's look at that together right now. What's this? Let's take a peek. Zoom out from this point to hit this point here. 5 days. So we'll do a 7-day heat map. And we'll see if STRK is even on here. It is. Okay, cool. All right, so we're right about the order flow. Decent amount of liquidity below us. Go to the weekly. Okay, so this consolidative zone here actually has decent amount of liquidity resting below it. This might be enough to hold us up. If we come down to here, we could bounce off that. So we break this, we can bounce off the liquidity, but I would ultimately be targeting down here. Liquidity starts to go cold around here, and then we have our previous highs here that we can bounce off of, our uptrending momentum. And where's our 4-hour order block? Oh, just above it. Or just below it, sorry. Fibonacci pull from the low to the high. Yeah, decent confluence with the 786 resting around the 4-hour order block. Our golden pocket resting around this previous pullback. Yeah, so a good zone of interest. Basically from the start of this low to that 4-hour order block right here. Pretty wild. Oh, we undo that. We'll leave the pathing tool on there, so if we come back to it, we can look at it here. Let's go back to Bitcoin. See how it's doing. Are we taking that low yet? Getting there. We got a 15-minute bearish order block. Get a good pullback, mitigate the order block, then come down. Then we'll have a lower key level that we could watch in low time frames after we potentially get this SFP sweep. So that could be good. We just need to have one, after this candle closes, we need to have one more bullish candle so we can have that lower key level for a faster change of character. Yeah, exactly, Coma. Lots of liquidity above us. So we should be looking up right now, not looking down. If you're already in a short, then awesome, right? This is going to be your indicator to tell you to stay in or stay out or get out, right? So we have that bullish. If we sweep the low and we have that bullish change of character, and now is in a short up here, I'll be using that as a warning sign to take profits. But if we don't, and we close below this, these wick levels, then we can stay in the trade. All right, we just mitigated the 15-minute order block. Just tapped into it now. And below us is just oblivion. There's still some spots. In terms of liquidity, not very much, but in terms of like some key levels that could induce a reversal, we still have quite a bit. But I agree with you. Being deviated from a previous macro valley area low like this, and with all the on-chain metrics showing us that things are looking like it's a really good opportunity, like this could be like a really good reversal point for a macro swing trade. And maybe this SFP, if we do get one, or the bullish change of character we get, could be the front run to all that swing bound move. Okay, so we looked at STRK. 3 minute. 3 minutes starting to flip bullish. 49 seconds on this candle. So we, if we close above this wick, then we have a bullish change of character on the 3 minute. If we close below this wick, then we have an SFP that will target this low. And it looks like we're likely going to get that SFP. Yeah, just got it. So now it's targeting this low. We have a 3 minute and 5 minute order block. 5 minute just got mitigated, coming down to approach the 3 minute. These order blocks could induce a small bounce. When you have an SFP like this and you have opposing confluences like this, it's a little nerve-wracking to take a trade like that. Coma saying this could be a great gig along, but can't get stopped out by 10 cents. Yeah. Yeah, you got to give yourself some breathing room when you're trying to capture a swing trade, right? You can follow the rules of your scalp setups. You know, have tight stop losses off your SFPs and stuff like that. But if you, like big moves like this tend to get sweeps, like double sweeps, and then try to knock people out so they can't join you in the race back up. So it's good to have an extra little bit of breathing room. What did I miss? Who's insolvent? Jeanette. No one's insolvent. There was just MEXC rumors, and I had to do a bunch of like, research on it and make sure everything was safe. And yeah, nothing's. The thing about MEXC is that their reserves are unstable, but they are at least backed properly. So what happens with MEXC is they'll have these promotions, and you can see the reserve chart. And as soon as a promotion occurs, like is taken away, let's say for example the zero fee one is taken away, they lose like 20% of their reserves during that moment because of the massive amount of withdrawals. But then they'll start a new promotion and then it'll come right back up. So they have unstable reserves because people are only with them because of their promotions. And it's usually the zero fee promotions. And I think that's the only reason why people would want to use them, because any other reason, like they're not that great of an exchange. Lots of slippage, tons of slippage, and they have they don't ask for much in terms of liquidity from new listings. So you might only be able to do like $1,000 worth of margin with some assets, just because they just don't ask for enough. And the reason why they don't ask for enough is because they want a bunch of tokens to get listed on their platform. They want to make it easy to join, which has some pros and cons. Okay. Have we looked at NVIDIA today? We haven't looked at NVIDIA, but we're aware the earnings come out today. I'll do the TA on the other assets. I got requests to look at some more stuff, and then I can look at NVIDIA. I think if the earnings are good, it could be a great conduit for a reversal today. All right. So Teo. I'm not looking at 6-7 coin. You guys are just gonna hurt yourself buying that crap. Teo, Sol, Bat, XRP. I'll look at 6-7 too. That's just a big meme. Teo. Okay. So we have a Teo chart, I believe. We're close to hitting that SFP target for Bitcoin. I'll just pull up the pathing for it. Confirmed here. Target here. Mateo. Okay. So we're going. So we broke momentum. Double topped. Came down to our previous point of control on this consultative. Okay. It's not really strong key level. Let's clean up this chart. We don't need a lot of this data. Okay. Okay, yeah, so this thing does follow. Yeah, it rolls pretty well. Let's go to the lower time frames here. Gonna mark this. Got a bearish order block here. Our macro value area low for this consolidative range for the past 210 days. Strong key level. Got a previous point of control down here that we used as support alongside with this previous high. So we could come down this low, but where we currently are, I would be preparing for longs as well. Our positioning is pretty good for longs. I prefer, just like with Bitcoin, that we take this low first so we can evolve our key level to here and maybe front run. If we get the SFP, that's the technical target, is this high on the 4 hour. On the hourly, which is what you'd be targeting first, so our hourly key levels here. Oh, that's a crazy high wick. We got a bit of an ascending head and shoulders that's bringing us down. So just prepare for that SFP sweep from this low. Or you can use lower time frames to look for the bullish change of character. If you get the SFP, you can look for the follow-up bullish change of character first, and then adopt the SFP target from that moment. You need to have a pullback prior to the sweep, so you can use that form of confluence for your trade. We don't have one just yet. The last one we had was here. So lots of the negative space between us and our last pullback. So hopefully get a healthy one soon. And because we don't even have one on the 5. We need 2 consecutive candles. We got nothing until here. So I would suggest waiting for the sweep of the low. If we get it, hopefully get a pullback prior. We sweep that. If you don't want to take the SFP because you don't trust it and you want to wait for the change of character, then we just got to hope for the proper structure for it. And then you could take that break instead and use this low as your stop loss guard. That's tail. Yeah, Bitcoin starting to get a little bit of bounce. And we got a doji. So if we close above that doji, we might not come down and take this low. Yeah, that would create a bullish order block during that moment. Okay. What makes the order block bullish or bearish is positioning. It's pretty easy when you think about where the price is and where the order block is. So if the order block is above you, it's bearish. If it's below you, it's bullish. So let's say, for example, we create like a doji candle, and then we have an engulfing candle like this. Sorry. Yep, like that. This here would be the order block, right? And it would print right during the moment this candle closes. And what usually it will help do, and for confluences, if we come back to return to it, it normally induces a bounce, because what creates these is usually a strong amount of orders, creates that kind of posture, and it's a warning sign that there could be residual buy orders in that area. If we have like a doji and immediately we crash and we close below this wick, and then we have a bearish one, and same thing, we come back, we can retest it and cause the price action to continue to go down. They're very good with confluence with Fibonacci. So if you're a Fibonacci trader, you look around for these. They're also really good for entry conditions. So some people will jump into them, you know, similar to how I usually wait for changes of character because of how I back test it with my strategy. Some people actually use bullish order blocks as an entry condition as well, like saying like, I will not enter a long on this time frame unless the confirming candle creates a bullish order block, like this one would in a moment. If that, for example, we came up, we broke this high and we retested the neckline, and then the retest created a bullish order block, like during that moment, that's a good indication to use that confluence for an entry, because the order block itself will act as a potential stop loss guard. You'd still want to use strong lows or strong highs as your stop loss guard, but if you have an order block, think of it as like a little guardian for your capital, or a VWAP could be a guardian for your capital, or the 15-minute orb. And just like confluences for your entries, you want to have as many of them as you can get. You want to have as many confluence barriers for your stop loss as well. Yeah, it is pretty easy. Once you understand it, they're hard to unsee. Sometimes you'll have situations like this, though, that could make it a little confusing, where the order block wick level is so tight and small that you know you can see it as an order block. But whenever you see an engulfing candle like this, you should dissect the candle as much as you can. Right? So between this high and this low, it gave us this order block. And once they're tapped, a lot of the time people will see them as mitigated the moment they're touched at any point, just like this. Just tapped into it, gone. You can build rules on that, but make sure if you back test those rules. Like mitigation rules, I mean. Okay, we can look at the next request. Sorry for my little rant. Solana was a request to look at. So Sol. Okay. Bitcoin, keep an eye on this thing though. Our key level is up here. If broken, we might not sweep this low, but man, does it ever make you feel uncomfortable. Feels like it makes you feel like you're trading on a glass floor. If you're that low to a level, or that close to a level that's be swept, and we don't take it. We don't have to take it, but it's a lot better because we know we could be using that liquidity to help rush us up, right? And I really wanted that high up here to become a key level for like the 4-hour time frame. That won't be possible unless we sweep the low first. Or, you know, close below it. If we close below it, that could lead to continuations down. All right, so Solana, we're at our key level that we were talking about today. Solana's in this like awkward descending broadening wedge. So like these are usually bullish. They normally break to the upside, but their targets are always super, super boring. The target of this posture is the high, where the trend line basically starts for the downtrending resistance. And the reason being is because of how liquidity is usually formed from this posture. We take from below us, constantly taking, but we keep giving liquidity above us. And this morning we looked at the liquidation heat map and we saw there's a ton of liquidity pooled right here. And there's pros and cons to this positioning. The con is like if you need to be front running the move, right? You need to try to get in around here. Like this is a key level that we marked. We have previous highs here in low time frames. We have descending dough bottom, sorry. And this is if you pull a fib from this low to this high, this is our golden pocket 786 level. So we're waiting for a bullish lower time frame change of character reaction, hopefully a break of momentum in confluence with that, to front run the break of this potential downtrending resistance so that we could prepare for a potential exit plan here, because this could be a good strong continuation area or a reversal area. When you have pooled liquidity in one spot, this could just be used as exit liquidity for anyone who entered down here or potentially here and cause it to reverse. So you don't want to take the breakout on these because of that, because you can have it immediately go against you. So you'd rather be able to react by giving yourself some distance with your entry, because if we close above this and we get the break of structure off this valley area high, we have the confluence of being above the previous point of control, and this liquidity could actually be used as buy-side liquidity to drive the price up. And since it's such a coin toss moment, when we get there, you want to have your average entry way away from it. But if we get above it, it could drive us up to that previous valley area here on Solana and give us a rotation up to way higher, around like 163. But we have supply confluence here too, so this would be our next barrier that we'd watch after this one. But if you think of it like a boss fight, this is a pretty strong boss fight right here for Solana. It could definitely induce a reversal. So here, where we currently are, is a zone of interest to prepare for longs, just like where Bitcoin currently is too, which is kind of nice to have that confluence. So if you see the confirmation occur on Solana and you see it occur on Bitcoin, you can choose what kind of barriers you want to deal with during that moment. So you can take one or the other trade, and then you can babysit it based on its unique barriers. Bitcoin has quite a bit of opposing barriers at this moment at 91K from these previous lows, the VWAP, the 15-minute orb, the downtrending momentum. There's like 4 or 5 things we're gonna struggle, or might struggle about around here. Solana, it might meet when Bitcoin reaches around 91K. Solana might be at like 136 relative to that positioning, because that's where it starts to meet its opposing barrier confluences. We have a little supply here, but this is the big guy. Around 136, we have the downtrending momentum. The VWAP might catch up to us during that moment. We have the previous lows here. So a lot of reason to hit our head during that moment. But if we break above it and we get acceptance into it with a break of structure, then we can get a rotation up to the valley area high and start the process of breaking this downtrending momentum on this descending broadening wedge. So first step is acceptance, so we can get that potential rotation. The point of control is currently lining up with the downtrending momentum, so we'll have to take that pretty darn seriously too. But yeah, so we're just crossing our fingers so we get the posture we need for the entry. That's the only thing we're lacking. We're in the area of confluence for longs. We just need to have the structural evidence that we are going to reverse instead of just aping in on a long and hoping that it reverses. You want to make sure you're jumping in a position of strength, and that way you can have a good spot for your stop loss too, so your margin can be put to work for you. But that is Solana. That's what we're waiting for. It's probably gonna be a 5-minute reaction, 5-minute time frame reaction, depending on what kind of picture we paint on the higher time frames. Because like the 15-minute, we don't have a proper pullback. Like this isn't even considered a proper pullback here for the 15-minute. It's not until way up here. So we kind of want to have preferably a higher time frame, like the 15-minute or higher, pull back a little bit before confirming a reversal. So we can use that as a key level to guide us into a long. If we don't hold up here, then our next area of interest is here, the 15-minute order block, these lows. Maybe we'll stabilize around this point. We got the pullback we wanted for the 3 minute, not the 5. The 5 is still up here. We're starting to get some more structure here, which is nice. Before a sweep, you want to have structure so you can find key levels for your entry. Let's see what we have. Okay, request to look at. So we looked at Teo, we looked at STRK, we looked at Solana. We had a request to look at basic attention token, 6-7 coin, and XRP. And we'll take a peek at NVIDIA as well. Sterling. Oh, you're a bit insolvent. That's not good, bro. We'll talk about that. Yeah, so Sterling brought up, we're doing a Black Friday sale right now, guys. 50% off for life on the plan. So even if you're an existing member, you can take advantage of it. We put 50% across the board, the yearly plans and the monthly plans. And so long as you stay subscribed, you get to keep access to that discount. It sticks with you for life. It's like the lowest. Honestly, it's the biggest discount we've ever given since we've started 6 years ago. But let's take a peek at the next request. That was basic attention token. I know I haven't looked at basic attention token in a super long time. So BAT. Oh, that's my Batman video chart. So we haven't done enough basic attention token TA to have a chart. Was the last thing we looked at. Must have been, if we even did look at anything. Oh, not on Binance. Okay. Did it take its? It did. Okay. So it did. It held up pretty well from the October 10th crash. Macro wise, it doesn't really have very much movement here. Just mark our daily order block here, our daily order block here. At 32 cents. At our value area high. We got our macro point control. This is a consolidative range that is 1,104 days old. Plus we've been in it before in the past. We established this value area here. During this moment, we can see how the value area data might be similar. Yeah, our value area high is basically flush. Our point of control was really close to being flush with each other. Just our value area low. This one has more data on the right to drag the value area low lower. We have a bit of double distribution here. Whereas here's a little bit more balanced because it's young. And we use the value area high as support here. But we failed to use it as support this time around. We succeeded there, but that was before the pull was even a real pull. Based on how it developed. Yeah, it wasn't even a value area at that time. Use the previous value area data to help you though. Like during that moment, yeah, it was previous value area data that would help you. So right now, coming in on basic attention token, we are squeezed between the 50-day and the 200-day EMA. My least favorite situation when trading is when that crap happens. We have a lot of algorithmic bots that respond to those EMAs, so the market, the order books and stuff like that get a little wonky and weird. We didn't sweep this high during this moment, so that's kind of sucks. If we grab that, then we could be coming for this low. And right now it just looks like it's positioned to either break above the 50-day EMA and return back up to these local highs, or break below the 200-day EMA and come back down to these valid area low. Maybe sweep this low from the October 10th crash right here, because I like the positioning of its October 10th crash. It looks like it didn't really well. It didn't create like this crazy illiquid crash like the other altcoins did. I'll zoom in on the 15 or the hourly first and see what we have. We got yeah, it doesn't like market structure very much. You get this change of character, pullback, bearish change of character, bullish change of character. Well, this one worked out pretty well, but this one kind of lied to you. This one kind of lied to you. It's positioning between the 200, these two EMAs really mess things up sometimes. We're coming down right now to an area of confluence where we have the 200-day EMA and an hourly order block right here. So we could ping pong our way back up to the 50-day EMA again. I'll go to the 15-minute time frame. No, we have a pretty good order block right here too. The floor of this order block is almost flush with the ceiling of this one, the hourly order block. So we can, those merge confluence zones here, the overlap here could be a good spot to prepare for the long. So if I were to draw pathing, what I'd prepare for, it's just that like a bullish change of character in this area on the 15-minute. Our current 15-minute level is up here, where the VWAP kind of like pushed us down. We had that proper pullback, but we could create a pullback after we take this low, just because there's likely some liquidity here that can induce a pullback. But overall, this is a good spot for confluence for longs, right here. So at 1673. And along the way up, you watch your supply barriers and the 50-day EMA. Right now, we have VWAP and a 15-minute order block flush with each other, but by the time the price action catches up, the VWAP might be where this order block is here. I'm just gonna watch that. VWAP is king sometimes. It'll bully you, so you got to make sure you watch out for it. It could drive the price right back down. So I would have that as a TP level for sure. But ultimately, yeah, target the 50-day EMA. You could hope for it to break through and then use these levels as support, so you can have continuations up to this supply right here. But yeah, I would have your initial exit plan be the 50-day EMA for a quick scalp trade. How are we doing? Are we taking that low yet for Bitcoin? We're getting there. We have a proper pullback on the 15-minute, which is pretty cool. And it's multi-time frame level. We know it's a 3-minute level too, right? We have 3-minute reactive traders and 15-minute reactive traders in the same spot. All right, we're taking the low now. Let's see how we do. I should probably log into my Blowfin. You can't find lifetime subscription. The lifetime subscription is an NFT, so it's resellable. You could sell it to other members if you wanted to. So if you want a lifetime membership, you gotta shoot me a message, man. All right, swept the low. The first low, at least. This is a good moment to turn on Argus if you guys use Argus. Argus, what it allows you to do, you can see a little bit on this chart. Let me just pull it up. It allows you to see the wick levels as an overlay over top of your candles based on the performance of other exchanges. So right now, the default is Bybit, Binance, and BitGet. Right now, we're looking at Bybit, so having the Bybit data is kind of redundant. So you could change that to something like Coinbase. Sec here. How do I switch that again? Right. And you put a column. Coinbase. Bitcoin, US dollar. Coinbase. And then you can change the style to their branding colors is what I usually recommend. So you'll know, based on the colors of your wick and stuff like that, which exchange is likely the one sweeping the lows and which ones aren't. So the Binance is yellow. Coinbase is like a blue. And we have BitGet, which is also like a kind of like a baby blue branding color. And then you click OK, and then you're set. So now we have our, my wicks may look a little weird right now, but it shows me like how high we went on the unique assets relative to the others, right? So we're on Bybit right now, but we can see a little blue wick that went all the way up to here, because that tells us that Coinbase went that high. It's helpful for SFPs because you can see, okay, we swept on Binance, or we swept on this exchange, or we swept on that exchange, but we haven't yet on the one that we're looking at. So it allows you to have like multiple charts like on one without having to create too much noise. What's your opinion on the current situation? Are we still in the bull market? I believe yes, we're still in the bull market based on the on-chain conditions. We never hit our stressor point to call a top. And right now, as we stand, it's crazy the confluences that we have for longs right now, and just the structure is just not painting the picture yet. If we look at like Glassnode, I want to show you the on-chain data, but I don't want to miss this moment either. But to my memory, the on-chain data is showing us that based on the P&L of the average holder, is our conditions are the same as if they were when we were at $27,000. So that the profit in the supply is about 65%. And the last time we were there was when we were at 27K. We have our Newport chart below 40. And when we're below 40, the last time we were below 40, we had a rally right after each one of those moments on the Newport chart. And the last moment we had when we were at below 40 was here. The time before that was here. And the time before that was right during this little pullback after we hit the macro golden pocket, was right here. So our on-chain metrics, the conditioning is the exact same as if we were at these three moments. Even though we're at a higher price point. It's just the Newport chart has really shown us like how much of Bitcoin has gone into new hands. It's kind of wild. But we have crazy amount of price suppression going on right now. Manipulation, trying to drive the price down lower. But they only can do it so much. I think the 4-year cycle is going to expand. Yeah. I think this will be the global liquidity right now and everything else. Like I know that it's a scary time for a lot of metrics like jobs, market, and stuff like that. But you know, all the on-chain analytics suggest that we're in an evolving bull market and we're not going into a bear market. It's a really good shakeout plan, though. If you look at the on-chain metrics and you look at how, let me just set an alarm for this so I can actually show you the on-chain data instead of just talking about it. Let's see if we get this sweep or not. All right, we got an alarm set. So going to glass node, like here, this is a Nupal chart. The white line is your price action. The green line there, you see at the top, and the orange line there. Now, the colorization of this is changing based on a key level. Right now, it's the 50 level. And when we're below the 50 level, most people start to feel anxiety, like fear, kind of emotion, right? So we're in that state of anxiety right now. And I'm sure a lot of people are feeling that emotion right now as we speak, right? Just like we were when we were at like 70 some K, and just like we were when we were like dipping down to the low levels at like 54K, or after we hit the macro golden pocket and we started to pull back. Like each one of those levels, we had a really strong reversal from, and we're there right now. So we're really lacking for a long before we start getting to the Nupal stressor point again. We're going to start watching around like the 58 level, is when we got up there. That's when we start seeing those reversals from each one of those unique tops that we created after our rallies that we've had occur. So when we get up there, we're going to watch that hawkishly, but I think the next time around might actually bring us to the absolute like full stressor point. We zoom out on this bigger picture. That's when we get into this blue zone up here. We only tapped into it last time, but yeah, it's around like the 70 level. And like the opposing bearish change of character you get on the daily after we get to the 70 level, that's the top. That's when you get the heck out. But we've been having a lot of price suppression ever since the ETFs came out, forcing consolidation. But the supply keeps getting lower. Like the amount of supply being available keeps going lower and lower, so we keep creating higher highs. So they only can suppress it so much. The SOPR is also below the 0 or the 1 level. This kind of tells you a guide into knowing how well retail is doing. And when we get below the 0, like the 1 level here, is when you prepare for like long opportunities. We just hit it when we got to 94K, 94.6. And the last time we were that low is when Bitcoin was at 84K during that last massive falling wedge that we had on the daily. Kyle, let's see what you got here, bro. Kyle, your screen looks out of focus. It might be my internet. Sorry about that. Let's see. I can kind of see what you're seeing, though. So I got my OBS on my left-hand side. See if we can change the settings on this thing. Well, until it gets back in focus. Sorry about that, guys. I'll just like verbally say what I'm doing and what key levels I'm going to be taking. Just waiting on this long opportunity. We just swept the first low here. You can see that Argus on Bybit we have this low right here, but you can see Argus shows us that we have a lower level on Binance that comes all the way down to 89K. So it's one helpful thing about Argus. If we sweep this low, we can prepare to see how we respond to the Binance low level. We're getting awkwardly close. If it wants to give us a higher, like another green candle here, that'd be great. Just one more green candle and then sweep the low, break the key level, come up, watch out for the supply along the way, get acceptance in the valley area, and then we'll be watching our 15-minute orb in hopes that we start. But this is the reversal moment. This is the bottom. Kyle, do I use bots? No, I don't use bots, but I'm trying to. It's just a matter of building one that's profitable. You can backtest strategies, but you gotta make sure you forward test them in a live environment before you trust it as a bot. Because risk management is not something that bots are usually really good at. You can command a bot to enter based on certain conditions very easily, but to command it to know where to put its stop loss and take profits, it's another story. So yeah, I'm working on some. It's just a matter of making sure that they're profitable first. Let me change the settings on my chart here for a second so we can see. Where is my... There we go. Change this to like 16 for you guys. Maybe 20. There, let's change this to like 20. I know the font's super big, but when we're looking this low price action, you want to see your levels on the right hand side. Here we got in the chat. Kyle, there's hardly any retail. Anybody packed and want to techno stocks? Yeah, we might, and gold too. A lot of people ran towards gold, but you might see that rotation back towards Bitcoin. Okay, XRP, Dash, and Ethereum. 72K low for Bitcoin, says Jo. I know that's the floor of a daily order block. No, it's not. Okay. You're talking about the wick level low. Yeah, we have an order block here at 78K to 82K. We have demand zone right here from like around 86K to 82. So we have lots of confluences after this point that could hold us up, but I'd much rather prefer that we keep this level so we can have the confluence of this macro valley area to help assist us in our continuation trades. It's not up to me, but that's kind of the positioning that I'm preparing for. Our capitulation starts at around 70K, like 72K, and the capitulation state sounds terrible, but it's actually a really good spot to prepare for very, very life-changing good buys. So maybe even a coin margin setup. Because on-chain data, when we get to the capitulation state, normally shows you a lot of bullish reversal indicators. Like over 50% of the holders have to be holding at a loss in order for us to be in that state. Can we upgrade to Elite membership for 50% off? What's the window? The window is right now it's between today and December 1st. So you have lots of time. So if you're a standard member and you're paying standard member price, then upgrading to Elite, you'll be charged no more money. It'll be the exact same price, but you'll be getting a lot more. What is capitulation? Capitulation is the state in the market where a majority of holders are holding at a loss, and miners are creating coins at a loss, and that normally induces miners to hold their positions. They won't sell, because if they sell, they'll be selling at a loss against the cost of their electricity. And retail, if you think about the psychology of them holding, when you have a large majority of people holding at a loss, they usually hold their positions until they're at break even or in a profit again. So right here, supply and profit. This is a good chart to track something like that, because when this chart gets to below like 50%, then all charts start looking terrible. So this chart here, you see how the red zone up here and the green zone down here. The green zone starts when we're at 50%. This green little line here. So if you look at history of every single time that we got to this zone, it has become the best opportunity to buy Bitcoin. It was during every bear market low. We got this area. We had the COVID crash right here. We had the 16.9, like 16K low here before we rallied up to 125K. When we get up to the red zone, you start looking for on-chain data that suggests that this is the top. And we've got, so that's the only rule that we met for calling the top. When we met it like 3 times, as we went range bound multiple times from, I'll show you again here. We're getting close to my alarm going off there, guys. But yeah, we had 100% of holders in a profit during this moment, during this moment, and during this moment, and a large majority of retail left during this pullback. Like a lot of retail left. So now it's institutions having a huge amount of control over the price action. I think banks just got approved to hold crypto, by the way, guys. Yesterday. All right. My alarm just went off. You guys can hear it probably. So we swept the low. We have a good key level here. Right here. If broken, we'll have a good bullish change of character. And perfect conditions would be we close above that wick level, and then we get the bullish change of character, and then we can jump in on the entry. So this is a make it or break it moment right now for Bitcoin. If we don't get it on, like let's say we don't get the 5-minute sweep SFP, you start rotating to higher and higher time frames. And then once you confirm the higher time frame SFP, you go back into lower time frames and you look for your key levels for the change of character. So just now we're just sitting on our hands waiting for the long. We'll start in the 5. 19 seconds. Our 5-minute key level. Let's rotate this to here. Seven seconds. Let's also go over here. I'm curious. I'm just going to mark this Binance level here. All right. So we validated the 5-minute SFP. So we started a 5-minute warning sign of a continuation down. Let's go to the 15-minute. We got 10 minutes left on this. If this closes without it being an SFP, guys, this also turns into a bearish order block right here. So let's get this going. Reverse. It's your moment, bro. Bitcoin dominance accumulation hasn't rotated to target yet. Well, that's a good point. And I got a really good indicator for USD dominance confluence. It's Shi high from 11x. You can add that to your chart. Let's see, Bitcoin dominance here. Yeah, that's looking. So USDT dominance, for those of you who don't know, think of it as an indication of attention. So we have more people taking profits right now. This will go up from people taking profits. This will go up from people moving funds from fiat into crypto. Initial pump from that. When this flips bearish, let's say we get a bearish change of character on the dominance, that's a warning sign that funds are starting to flow out. So right now we have a key level right here. If broken, it could warn us of a stronger bullish reversal on Bitcoin. But right now it's showing us the funds are flowing out of assets, including Bitcoin and other assets in general, like alts in general too. But we are getting close to this key area of interest here. We have been in this valley area for a long time. We're waiting on a reversal here, warning us of price action to start coming against us. See, right up to this moment here where we use the value area high as support. I gotta turn off my Shi high in here. So we're awfully close over here. If you want to have that confluence, maybe sweep this high. It's not like there's liquidity above this, but it's just a good spot to respond, prepare for. We had a harsh rejection off it after we created like the supply zone here. So 6.23% is a key level we can watch. We got strong momentum, just like we did here, upwards and downwards. We got strong momentum along the way up right here. So we'll see if we break that momentum and start rotating back down and flip bullish with Bitcoin, because this timing for the Bitcoin dominance and where we are is pretty good, honestly. Like this could indicate if we start flipping bearish, like right now on the time frame we're looking at in the daily, it's right here, but we have a lower key level on the hourly that could front run everything right here. If we start breaking that and we have a domino effect with acceptance to the value area and then come right back down to around the 4.22%, we can watch Bitcoin relative to the 4.22% level and see how we can call our tops that way. But right here, because we're looking at these local highs, this is how we're going to use it to help guide us into calling our bottoms. It's kind of awkward wrapping your head around it, but the more you do it, the more you'll kind of get used to this being all upside down, inversely correlated to Bitcoin's moves. So as we sweep that high on USDT dominance, maybe we can get that. Maybe we'll get an hourly or a 4-hour SFP confirmation here. But right now it's not looking too hot. We swept the Binance low, where we have this dotted orange line right here. So we're getting an SFP on the Binance chart. Our 88.9K level is being tapped. That's a previous macro swing high level that we used as resistance in the past. We're going to have a bearish 15-minute order block created here in a moment, about 4 minutes, unless we teleport up here. A coma. Yeah, Brian's favorite dinner, dumperoni with tomato sauce. Here we go. Andrew, see we're missing some likes. Thanks, man. Yeah, smash the like button, guys, if you enjoying the stream. Thanks, Kyle. Is there a perfect time to onboard family and friends? Is there a yeah, everyone has a referral link with our program. You get 50% recurring. So for every month they pay with your link, you get 50% of it. So mathematically, after 2 referrals, you're making money from InvestiShare, whether you're a profitable trader or not, right? It's a good way to make some passive income while you're trying to figure things out. It's looking strong. 3 minutes left on this. Let's go to the 3-minute chart. So we get a bullish order block on the 3-minute if this closes above this wick. If we close above. Well, we close into the green zone here just above these lows, then we won't get the bearish 15-minute order block. It'll be invalidated. Nice, okay. How are we to this barrier? It's 1 to 1.56 to our strongest barrier. But we have some room to react if we want to escape with the small, like 1-to-1 gain. Let's delete this because I don't think we're going to get that order block anymore, which is nice. Are you guys bullish? Put a 1 in the chat if you're getting ready for a long as well. And 2 if you think it's going to keep going down. All right, 3-minute order bullish order block created. Yep, 3-minute bullish order block created. Time frame is that 5-minute. All right, 5-minute key level here. 3-minute doesn't go bullish until up here. It's awkward to see a lower time frame not be in line with a time frame above it. I mean, yeah, higher time frame not be aligned with a lower. How does the hourly look? 15 minutes on the hourly. Get the hourly SFP. Hourly targets is high. That hourly order block there too. I'm gonna write up a post really quick for the community who's might not be in this live with us. So I'm just gonna copy this. Going to yeah, we're talking about the setup since yesterday, so we gotta get it. Okay, almost done writing it up. Just getting ready to post it in the server here. Come on, where is it? posted. I just gotta wait again. So 13 minutes left on that hourly candle. It's coming back down. Let's see what we have in the 15. You can do it, Bitcoin. It's the descending regression trend right here. Coma's convinced we're going to 74K. I will agree with you if we get a 4-hour candle close below this wick. I will definitely agree with you. But this is the moment where you would reverse or confirm that continuation, man. So I'm hopeful that we get the structure to confirm the reversal. Otherwise, yeah, I'm agreeing with you, man. We might come down to our next key level, 86K. Lose that, come down to like 82. 15-minute candle closed. Yeah, confirmed. Yeah, we confirmed the SFP on the 15-minute. So the SFP technical target for the 15-minute is from this confirmation point to here. This is the invalidation point right here. So if you're taking the 15-minute SFP, you can enter between this moment here and this low and have it still be validated if you want to adjust it, your entry for the R&R of that target. I'm not taking that SFT trade. I am looking for... I'm glad it happened, of course. It's good confluence to know that we could drive ourselves back up and that this might be the absolute bottom. This might be the low. Because we got that SFP on the 15 at least. The hourly comes in 10 minutes. We need to close above here to confirm that on the hourly. Then I'll feel a lot more confident. And then the only thing I'll be lacking is the follow through of the 5-minute change of character. And then I feel at that point we have enough confidence on our side to establish this as a potential bottom. Use this as our stop loss guard. Maybe try to enter after the change of character, right? Because we'll have a new strong low between the strong low and the confirmation of the change of character for better R&R if you want it. Everyone wants it, of course, but it's our R&R to our primary barrier, which is now in line with the VWAP. We have an hourly order block here, the 50-minute orb, the VWAP here. So lots of reason to hit our head here alongside this downtrend momentum. So I'm hoping that we break through that. 28 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. 10 minutes left still on the hourly. Chow suggesting 500x. That should be illegal, man. They kind of leverage. Pluff saying that we swept the Dogecoin low. I was watching Dogecoin last night. I just hit my first $1,000 mining Bitcoin. I mean, not mining Bitcoin, mining Dogecoin and Litecoin. Let me refresh this. But so I'm planning an exit around 22 cents for Dogecoin to gain about 36% on the holdings that we mined so far. Sell at the top of range in a high liquidity zone and then wait for more to be created from the block rewards and then do that all over again. Building a USDT balance and then you could funnel that into your futures trading. Just a liquidity wick, yeah. All right, our Bitcoin's taking its time. Depending on how this candle closes, like if this closes below here, then I'll start looking at other assets. What's the 4 hour? 2 hours left on the 4 hour. But if we get that 5-minute bullish change of character, I think we'll stay above that level for over 2 hours. We can confirm the 4-hour SFP as well. And that would evolve the structure. So this will become the key level here for the 4-hour, which is the main thing I'm after. I want this to be the 4-hour key level. Because right now it's way too freaking high. Yeah. Up here. I'd love to have it flush with this previous value low, the 97-day previous value low, so we can have that bullish change of character simultaneously as we break into that value area. We have a lot more trade participants if something like that happened, and we can start targeting around 100K. So we break, right now this is the scalp move that can be converted into the swing bound move. We break this level. Hourly, you got 7 minutes left. It's doing its job. Keep pumping. Not too hard, just enough to confirm so we can get in a good entry. All right. Hourly SFP coming. There we go. 7 minutes left. This is where the patience part of trading comes in. Get the probability on your side before you jump in. Don't just ape in. Kyle, we all know you do 500x when no one's watching. The most leverage I have done without people watching is that 1000x leverage. That was nuts. I could tell why they were, I don't remember what exchange it was called, but I could tell they were doing it to try to manipulate volume. But no, I don't use 500x ever, usually. I played around with 1000x just because they gave me free money to try it out with, but used it as a way of finding out whether or not it's something you could ever suggest to someone, and it's definitely not. Like 500x doesn't usually give you enough breathing room for a stop loss unless you are trading like something with a very, very, very tight invalidation point of like a 0.005% or something crazy. Chow just aped in. Oh boy. What's the hourly look like? 5 minutes. Come on, man. How do we look low time frame? Alright, it looks like we have an ascending double bottom, so low time frame suggests that we might get up there for the SFP on the hourly. Our 3-minute key level. Well, that's not a key level. Well, 3-minute key level is way up here. It's just weird seeing our 5-minute level lower. I'm going to turn off Argus. I realized I had my level flush with Coinbase's level. There we go. 89.6K. We need to close above this after we get the sweep. But we might not get it. 4 minutes left. $1,000x is where the real millionaires are made. That's where you lose millionaires, bro. Yeah. Now for this, we have about, depending if we wait for the change of character or not. Oh. Sorry, I just got an Amber Alert. Yeah, depending on whether or not you're waiting for the change of character or not. If you're waiting for the change of character, you're gonna have about a 0.9% stop loss. If we get the SFP, we'll probably have something about 0.5% stop loss. That percentage drawdown is a guidance of how much leverage you're allowed to use in total. So you could use like close to 200x on something like this. But yeah, you lower your fees, guys. Focus on, you don't need to be in 100 trades. If you're using leverage, think of the leverage like a tool telling you how many trades you can take by reducing the amount of margin you're putting at work. And the less amount of margin you put at work, the less risk you have too, in general. If your stop loss for any reason wasn't honored, the only thing that's at risk is what you put into the trade if you're using isolated margin. If you're using cross margin, I recommend you stop. And just stop using it altogether. And put your entire account at risk. Or whatever's inside that futures account at risk. Oh man, I might do it in the last 3 minutes. Yeah, last 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Pizza Man's here. Hide your kids and your wife. What? That's funny. We have the chat. You can see mile 2 accumulation on the macro scale. Target would be 6.77%. Oh, I see. Yeah. I would just be targeting the local highs. I think it's 6.26%. You're going to need Bitcoin to hit 150K by summer. That's possible. The new pull gets exhausted at 140K though, just so you're aware. This chat's not caught up yet to what I'm seeing in my Oh, the latency is insane in the chat. Newpol, never heard of her. That's funny. It's this guy, right? We got a minute left on this candle, so I'll just take a peek at it. Unrealized profits and losses. Net unrealized profits and losses is what it stands for. It shows you basically the profitability of holders when they capitulate, when they start getting overheated. And right now we're in a really good spot for longs. Insanely good spot. $25 seconds. How's the 3 minute looking? All right, we got a body close above these local bodies. The 5 minute. That's looking good too. 6 seconds left on the 5. There we go. All right, we got a bullish SFP on Bitcoin on the hourly. The 4-hour comes in 2 hours, if anyone wants to wait for that. But I think that this is enough. I think hourly SFP at the local demand zone, swept the lows, wait for the 5 minute bullish change of character. You can use this as your strong low from the 5 minute and the SFP invalidation point. We would want to target these highs, right? If we look at the hourly SFP target, the hourly technical target is this local high here, but the floor of the hourly order block, the VWAP, the OR15, and the downtrending momentum, there's all that confluence meets right here during this moment. So we might not get past this moment, but if we do, then awesome. Then we can start worrying about the next confluence-based barrier, which is like right about here. So I'm getting ready to flip bullish, enter a long. I'm going to get in on my blowfin really quick. Make sure I log into that. So every time I log into it on a different computer, it kicks me out on another. Well, that's refreshing. Any karma updates? Yeah, I can go through that too. Kyle, when I restart my subscription, I can get elite access for the same price. Yes. Yep. If you use the code Black Friday on your checkout. My chart just showing new pool, no profits. Okay. You'll get there, man. Like, if you're, there's a couple members like that are been talking about how they're not profitable yet, and we should talk about that during tonight's call. We have a call tonight at like 3:30 for back testing, but we can talk about that stuff too if you're struggling with it. I know the people that are mentioning that they're not profitable are smarter than me. So just a matter of like finding out what you're lacking. We'll get that fixed. All right, I'm logged into Blowfin now. If you guys are looking for a reliable exchange with amazing reserves, I recommend Blowfin as well. If you use our referral link, you get 20% off your trading fees, and it gets given back to you as cash, like USDT, in your funding account about 6 hours after your trade closes. All right, get your risk ready. I'm getting my risk ready. With my stop loss is going to be around 88,815. Okay, advanced mode. All right, I got my risk ready using 10x leverage in this trade. I could probably switch to 20 actually. Because if this turns into a swing trade, your margin is going to be tied up. So you can use more leverage to free up more margin, so you can use it for your maybe hedge trades and stuff like that. Here we go, flipping bullish soon. 18 seconds. Need to close above here. We got the bullish hourly SFP, which is enough for some people. What I'm waiting for is just the internal price action to agree with us being bullish. So I'm just getting the 5-minute bullish change of character occurrence, and then I'm set. We swept this high, which means this is a bearish SFP. It could target this low, but it's a doji reaction. So unless this candle here closes below the doji, I'm not thinking that we're going to come down. But if it closes below here, then yeah, then we could come down to that low again. We'll have a 5-minute bearish order block that could drive the price down. Come down and retest and come down. But also could give you guys another opportunity, or the price action another opportunity to evolve. The key level will be the same though. Ciao, you're in at 88.955. That's a good level, man. 88.9. You're a savage. Yeah, you're an absolute savage. There was nothing there. There was no confirmation that we're reversing at that point. Like maybe the hammer candle and you got in on the green candle doji here, on the pullback. But yeah, you're definitely catching the knife. You need the money for spam. Yeah. Yeah, we created an emote just for Chow, for all the spam. Maybe we should put that on the YouTube side too. Oh, come on, Bitcoin. Gonna make us wait. It's doing exactly what I don't want it to do. It can do this so long as we're not in the trade though, right? So you don't ape in there, Chow. Careful, bro. And so if we close below this little wick level, I'm just worried that it could start coming down to knock you out. I don't know where your stop loss is, because we don't have a strong low yet. And so to give it more breathing room than a normal trader would. We're about to create a bearish order block on the 5. Unless this closes above this wick. If it closes above the wick, then I feel like we're fine. Just a little bit of breathing room, not a whole lot, yeah. It's like you're in a box without oxygen right now. That's basically what you're doing right now. You gotta have some air. Mikey, there was a large buy wall at 88.9k. You placed the order just above it. Oh, so you're undercutting the masses, are you? Good idea. Let's take a look at the order books actually together. Yeah, there might have been a little one. It's mitigated now. No crazy walls on each side. We have a bit of a moment at 90k. Or 200 Bitcoin. But that's about it. There's nothing crazy on here. Luckily, there's a big buy wall that kind of starts at 88.7. $20 seconds left on this candle. Yeah, we just don't want it to close below here. There we go. We can still come down, but we didn't get the order block. We got 3-minute momentum. Come on, Bitcoin. Just need to close above here. We get like a 3-minute inverse head and shoulders. 5-minute change of character all in one spot. Pluff saying around 100k would make for some good shorts. I 1000% agree with that. There's already so much confluence there. Oh, like, yeah. When we reach 100k, that's gonna be like, it might be the final TP for this trade. If we manage to get above this double bottom neckline, of course. Getting close to being able to jump in soon. Just waiting for all my rules to line up for this SFP. I think 3 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. What's the squeeze time we have left? 12 minutes left on the squeeze. Okay. So we have about 12 minutes to make the decision to break it to the upside or come back down for another test of these lows. But at least we got the hourly confirmation of the SFP. Just got to get that internal structure to agree with us and we're set. A break of regression trend too, which is bullish. So we'll have a bunch of confluences there during that moment. An regression trend target is here. Maybe we'll struggle for a pullback after we hit this 5-minute order block. Retest these highs. And then this is a big boss that we have to fight. But if we break through that, then we're fucking set. Minute and a half. You can do it, Bitcoin. Come on. Moment of truth. All right. We took the high. We need to close above the high. We do not want to close below the high. We step laddered from this being the key level high to this. We just need to close above it. Come on. $55 seconds, bro. Just do it. Get your magnet tools out. Pull them out. Do it. Oh, don't go upside down. Come on. Close above it. 18 seconds. 17. Coma made $15. Good job, bro. Might not feel like a lot, but depending on your account size, it could help you compound, man. Every dollar is an employee. Got a 5-minute order block created. We didn't get a proper close above the high. I don't like what we have in the 15. Three. Come on, man. That's so close. Yeah, it's called step laddering when it evolves the key level for a change of character higher and higher. Right now, $100 account. Ooh, well, if you gain 15%, I'm hoping that you didn't risk to lose too much. You're risking to lose $1 to gain 2? You managed to gain 15? Pluff thinks he's going to bounce in Asia. Wait until we fall asleep. Yeah. That's possible. Like, man, like all the criteria is met for except for the internal bullish change of character. It just won't give it to us. Keep step laddering. Let's pull up our market structure indicator. This kind of patience saves you from bad trades, though. If it doesn't confirm, then you know you're not likely going to get it. On Bitcoin USDC, 5-minute clean close above. Okay, so close above the high on Binance USDC. It's a really low liquid pairing, but it's good as happening in some exchanges and some pairs. 15-minute goes lower. Oh, man. Yeah, we don't want to close below here on the 15-minute, or else we get a 15-minute bearish or block, and that could induce it to go lower. Our hourly is good. Our 4-hour is actively good. An hour and 42 minutes left until we just gotta stay above this wick level when this closes. We swept the low on Binance. Right now it's just struggling us to give us that lower time frame confirmation of the move. And being this patient, making sure you get the proper confirmation will prevent you from getting stopped out before it runs up. Which actually happened to me recently, by the way. Yeah, that happened to me recently. Stopped out, ran up. Okay. Let's delete this. Mark our local wick level. Oh, you're keeping 100 on the exchange and using it as 1,000. Okay. That's good, especially if you're using an exchange that you don't fully trust. Yeah, you're right, Pluff. The $15 isn't yours until you close. I think he closed. Alright, just got a bearish order block. Boom. So that could drive price down if we test this. As long as we're above this level on the 4-hour, I'll be happy. And we get that bullish change of character. The next bullish change of character we get, I'm taking the long and then using the strong low as a stop loss guard. That's the only thing I'm lacking. As long as it happens between where we currently are, like here, and the invalidation point. If we hit the invalidation point and it's not an SFP, another sweep, then I'll be kind of hesitant. That break of structure could lead to confirmation of us going down lower. I'm going to change my box level just noise right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have it flush with the high that we're trying to stay above, and our current low, which is our invalidation point right here. Just so we have a better visual of what we're trying to, stay above for our long. Magnet tool out, cling it right to the price action. There we go. And let's zoom back in because it looks like we're getting a pump above our level. There we go. That's a lot easier to see. Back to the 15. With a 5. Do you think it's a good spot for Solana? Solana. Sorry, my alarm just went off again. Solana right now, we're actually testing against the 786 between this low and this high. If you pull a fib, you get your golden pocket here, you get your 786 here. So this is the zone that we're kind of waiting on for actual buy position. But similar to what we're dealing with Bitcoin, we're just lacking that structural confirmation. I like right now that we've slowed down. We're starting to get a rounded bottom for Solana. But if we close below this, we can come down and rotate down towards this 15-minute order block at around 130. Let's go over here in the 5-minute. Our 5-minute posture. It step laddered a bit too, just like Bitcoin's did. You kind of want to see it close above here. So it could be a good spot buy, but you could get a better buy offer by being patient. Normally you'd want to be jumping in on a position of strength. So the moment you buy, it's likely to be a reversal moment, right? So long as we don't get a full body candle close below this wick and confirm a profit or break a structure, I think that, because right now we just technically SFP'd on the 5-minute. So if we close below this, it will invalidate that. It looks like it's trying to right now as we speak. But this is our key level right now. If we close above that, we'd flip bullish on the 5. But it looks like we're aggressively coming down now. Bitcoin's not going down that fast, so we're getting some relative weakness on Solana right now. So since we're not getting the confirmation here, we have our structural value area low. That's 252 days old here at 126.7. But I think, with the local liquidity here, this order block here, these wick levels, we can look for a bullish reaction here as well. And once you know you're jumping in a position of strength, then I would definitely recommend jumping in a spot buy. Your money will be put to work for you automatically, and you can, that way you're not holding during a downtrend, right? You want to be jumping in and holding when we are more likely to spark a reversal. So this has been invalidated. We can delete that. This is still our 5-minute kilo for a change of character, but we're not really getting the confidence that we want now, losing our fib levels. Seems like Hype is holding compared to other alts. Yeah, Hype's privacy tokens. There's a few of them out there. But yeah, like a big majority of them. Yeah, Zcash is doing good. The majority of them are not doing great. Just red across the board. Want to look at Ethereum? Sure, do that. Yeah, Ethereum, we were looking at that this morning. We deviated quite a bit away from the local value area now. We're hoping for an SFP sweep, bounce off a previous value low, and come to the local value area to return back up to the value area high and the downtrending momentum. But we got, this is over a 50% deviation of the value area, so it's not looking too hot. We go to the hourly. Bitcoin dominance must be going up right now based on this posture. If you compare Bitcoin's performance against Ethereum's right now, you can pretty much bet that the Bitcoin dominance is bullish. And we lost this last little demand zone. We mitigated this last little demand zone. So we got these previous highs here. I got like scribbled drawn, but we have these previous highs here that we can test that we're kind of like at right now as we speak. We're literally flush with it. This previous high and these previous highs here, they could act as a form of support. Otherwise, our next big key level is 2,655. We can delete this noise. So Ethereum's kind of like in low gravity right now, so be cautious. Looking super weak relative to Bitcoin. Let's go to the 5-minute. And now you're going to 5-minute flips bullish until we close above 2,934, right? Based on the current posture. We're getting a local SFP right now on Bitcoin. Nice. Okay. The local SFP technical target would be this high. That could be the front run entry to the break of that high. Local SFP. I think I might take the local SFP for a $50 risk. That's our... Use a heck of a lot more leverage. I'm gonna use a lower stop loss, like 88.637. This confirms in 10 seconds. It's gonna feel a lot like catching a knife, but $637. So my stop loss will be roughly around here, guys. All right, that just confirmed. Okay. I got an alert system that tells me when an SFP occurs. So if you're wondering why, that just went off. Okay. So we can either wait for the candle to close above this candle right here, so you can have a 5-minute order block confirm right after the local SFP, or you can just take the local SFP now. So if you want the extra security, the extra confluence, we need to close above this candle on the 5-minute. If you're okay with just taking the local SFP without that confluence, then go for it. Not financial advice. Make sure you stick to your proper risk management, though. Be consistent as possible. The technical target, if I draw pathing from like here to here. But I'd recommend waiting for the close above this high. That's what I'm doing. Then you have the 5-minute order block on your side. And you're trying to front run the change of character anyways, right? And if you get the change of character, then it tells you to hold the trade. How's the chat doing? Come on. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Two minutes, 30 seconds. You can do it. You can tell Bitcoin wants the bottom here. Like, come on. We got all this positioning for a reversal. No, minute and 45 seconds left. What does the 1 minute look like? Okay, the 1 minute looks good. Come on, it's good. The higher high. Get the 5-minute order block. Double bottom, ascending double bottom on the 1 minute. 5-minute SFP. Then you get the change of character. Break of the broadening wedge. And target the VWAP. And 1 minute left. All right, this next candle, we got a doji reaction. So let's get the engulfing candle. There we go. And get the engulfing candle, and then we're set. Even better if it engulfs all the way up above this high. "36 seconds on that. "10 seconds. Let's see if it pulls it off. It's not a big deal if it doesn't, but I didn't get it. That's all right. So it's not like a high confluence SFP under the... We have for a lower structure then. We're going to depend on that. We can take the ascending double bottom break after the 5-minute SFP targeting this high. It's not a change of character, but hammer candle reaction. All right, we got change in the state of delivery on the break of this high. FOMC in 20 minutes. 19. As FOMC meeting, it's minutes. FOMC, okay. Nothing crazy. And tomorrow's unemployment rate. That's going to be an important one to watch. That thing's been in a downtrend for a while. There we go. Tap the previous low. Minutes on that candle. Alright, I'm going to go on the 5-minute entry here, guys. I've jumped in on long. Okay, stop loss below here. We're going after the 5-minute SFP target, which is this high right here. Alright, so I'm long now. Yeah, this is the 5-minute high. If this breaks, our target will evolve from here to this local high right here. If this local high has been used as support, then our target will evolve from this high to the VWAP, where we have this supply zone right here. This is going to be a big moment right here. This is going to define whether or not we're going to have a swing trade or not. Right, so if we break above this, we get acceptance in the orb, then at that point we had mitigated an hourly opposing bearish order block right here. Right, so we want to have that acceptance. Acceptance is seen as a break of structure with a higher high inside of our zone. So if we get that, we are more likely to get the rotation up to the value to the OR15, and then we want to see that act as support, of course, and then our final boss will be this local high. And if we get the 4-hour SFP, which is what we're kind of begging for right now, then this becomes a key level that if broken will have a 4-hour bullish change of character into a macro valley area. And then from there, we'd watch our previous point of control at 96.8, but our ultimate target is 100K, where we have these lows here that were taken, that we created, and this giant supply zone, and our macro valley area high. So this is kind of like the ultimate target. I know we're kind of asking for a lot to occur in order for us to get there, but that's part of TA, just knowing when is appropriate to hold and why, or when it's appropriate to prepare to get out if there's opposing confluences. Right now it's kind of going against us a little bit. But this is our invalidation points, this wick level right here for the 5-minute SFP, because we had that local SFP here just after getting us the hourly SFP that occurred right here. It's trying to potentially convert as a break of structure. We need to close above here, below here, sorry. We got lots of time on that candle, 20 minutes. But yeah, the 4 hours one that we got to watch. It's an hour and 19 minutes till that one closes, and we want it to close above our green box that we have got drawn here. So we close above that, we close above this wick, and we confirm a 4-hour SFP. And we should have a lot more follow through with our move upwards. Already, I'll undo that delete. Minute. How are we doing low time frame? And 24 seconds, and then we get a bearish 3-minute order block again. We need to be above this wick when we close in 15 seconds. All right, got the 3-minute order block, just been mitigated. Tapped into it. 1-minute posture. And we need to close above here for the 1 minute. Got above that ascending double bottom, which kind of sparked my entry. You know, break of internal momentum after sweeping the low. I mean, good confluence there, but yeah, it's coming against us almost right away. But we have a lot of breathing room between like where we are and our invalidation point, and I got an extra breathing room. So if we get a local sweep before we run up, I think we have enough breathing room for that sweep. Ethereum's positioning. Sorry about the alarm. Ethereum's positioning is still rough. Tail is getting close to our key level. Solana, same, getting close to our next key level. Oh, NVIDIA earnings comes out. That could be a conduit for a reversal, too. NVIDIA earnings are great. Am I in? Yes, I am in, Brian. Yeah, Brandon, sorry. Yeah, we got the hourly SFP. We got the local 5-minute SFP sweep. They're being like really patient with this entry. One thing I could have done better is waited for the 1-minute change of character at least, or been super patient and wait for the 5-minute change of character off this key level here. I risk to lose half of what I normally risk to lose, just because we're trying to front run that change of character on the 5. But if we get it before the next 2 hours, hour and 15 minutes, then we'll have a good follow through from the 4-hour SFP. Just got a 5-minute bearish order block from this doji, then an engulfing reaction here. All right, let's sweep this and go. Just don't take me out. Okay, low has been taken. Now, to the moon, please. If we close below that, then our stop loss is at risk. Or at least mine is. Let's move this from here to here. So we just need to close above this wick right here. Because we had another pullback. We had a pullback here, a proper one. It became a consecutive pullback during this moment. And we got an awkward one right here. Well, we broke the high of this, so it's not an inside bar reaction. And then now we're just like wanting to make sure that this candle closes above this wick, so we can have like the double SFP. With this as our, a lot of people look at double SFPs and they see this as the target. I still watch the local target first and then hope for the continuation. But yeah, if we get the SFP here, then our local target's here. But the double SFP technical target is here. 3 minutes left on that candle. Pluff. Low key gonna be a BNB maxi next cycle. Yeah, BNBs are really good this cycle. Yeah, we were targeting the macro golden pocket when it broke around from its 1,000-day formation. When it broke that, like, it just went way past its technical target and started creating all-time highs. Two minutes left. Gives that bullish SFP, bro. What's nice about this, I know a lot of people don't like it when it goes against them, but you gotta think of the positives when things start to go against you. Is that it means that when certain highs are created, you can move your stop loss sooner rather than later. So if we get this SFP, which we find out in about 1 minute and 50 seconds, and then we close above this high, and then we can move our stop loss like from here to this low. It becomes our, like right now we have, this is our invalidation point, but if we SFP it, which I was worried about, that's why we gave it extra breathing room, our invalidation point will evolve from here to this low if we get that SFP. A minute and 20 seconds. We can do it. Does anyone here want to buy $1,000, 1,000 Bitcoins? 1,000 Bitcoins. It's only about 88 million. How's the order books doing? More buyers and sellers. No crazy sell walls. We have some buy walls below us, but seller's confidence comes in around 89.5. $30 seconds on this. There we go. $19, $15, $9, $8, $7, $6. Awesome. All right. We got the 5-minute SFP again. So it's targeting now. During that moment, this became the new target. We do have a 5-minute order block in our face, but it's not going to be that crazy. We just tap it once and then we'll might induce a small pullback, but we're good. We're not out of the woods yet, but this is a really important move that just happened here. If this one closes above here, this candle here closes above here, then we have a bullish order block guarding our capital. So we need to stay above here. Give us that bullish order block. And then you can decide if you want to move your stop loss right below the wick. I'm waiting for a structural shift. I want to close above here before I move my stop loss. There we go. Into long or short? Oh, we jumped into a long. We're long. Don't short. Yeah. What we're asking for right now for Bitcoin to evolve our target is just to close. Because right now we had this local SFP right here. So this local SFP's technical target is this high. But we also technically did a double SFP, right? And so that technical target is here. But I'm always cautious and just watch the local target first. So if we close above that, then yes, we can go for this. Hold for that. If we close above here, we get that bullish change of character on the 5 minute. Then we can start going for the broadening wedge technical target, which is here. So our hopes in a perfect world that this would cause a cascade effect and break key levels to eventually bring us to 100K. But that's such a big ask. We have so many barriers to watch out for. Like just from this local price action alone, we have 3 barriers to watch out for. So depending on how we respond to those barriers, will depend on whether or not we hold the trade. A minute and 40 seconds, and this thing, if we stay above this white line that I got drawn, we'll create a bullish order block here. You're doing the opposite of what I'm asking you to do, bro. Above here. We have in the chat. Maybe a band-aid. 3 minute bearish divergence. After 3 minutes bearish divergence. Yeah, starting to stack out on CD. Yeah. Cumulative volume delta. All right, 20 seconds, and we got a bullish order block. I do gotta head out soon, guys. I haven't eaten yet today, and I got another call coming up. All right, I got a bullish order block here. Oh, the opening candle. No, it doesn't. All right, let's go. Let's get that change of character. Yeah, once we close above here, I move my stop loss from here to here. How are we looking on the 4 hour? 1 hour left. We gotta get above 89.24. Or, yeah, 89,245. Even better. You can do it. And if FOMC minutes, like FOMC minutes is not a big deal as like an actual like a rate meeting, but it's still something that can cause price action to be a little bit whipsawy. So we want this price action to get away from our entry as much as possible, so we don't have to worry about any negative reactions that could be caused from the FOMC. You didn't see anything on the signals. I was in a meeting. Yeah, we're long. I'll just post it here. There we go. Post that in the Fanova side. Give it to the Otter gang. Okay. We're close. Yeah, so if you didn't get in on this SFP, this was the next opportunity right here. If you gave it as much breathing room as I did, you were fine during that pullback. We need to close above here, and we need to stay above here as long as we can. Because we want, if we stay above here, then we get that 4-hour SFP, and the 4-hour market structure will evolve. So we have a new key level for the 4-hour time frame. Because right now, the 4-hour key level is way up here, right? And we can evolve that once we get the SFP or the breakage structure, preferably not the breakage structure, but we want the SFP. Either the breakage structure or the SFP is going to evolve our strong high to here. And then we can have the 4-hour change character confluence into this valley area to evolve our target to as high as $100,000. But we got to watch this previous point of control where a lot of liquidity is resting right here that can be used as exit liquidity that can drive price down. I know I'm being repetitive, but just like repeating everything over one more time because I got to head out in a moment. So this may seem like a really small trade with a small like relative target, but the goal is to watch for key levels be broken to see if we get the cascade effect to hold our trade from here, because this is one of those trades that can convert from a scalp trade to a swing trade just after a certain amount of key levels that get broken. And the main one that we want broken is this one, but we have this little boss here that we got to fight before we can get there. And that boss fight is between the VWAP, the downtrending momentum, the hourly order block right here, and the 15-minute orb, if I didn't already say that. But this is the final boss. If we take that out, then we're golden, guys. And your stop loss should be deep like about halfway through the profit zone at that point, depending on what the structure looks like, of course. I like our 15-minute candle close, but it would have been a little bit better if we closed above this wick. Is then the 5-minute would have the break of a key level that we want to have broken, and we'd have a 15-minute bullish order block if we closed above that high. Well, we didn't get it. We're just off by a little bit, but not everything has to be picture perfect. We can get this move up here. This is so the behavior is so much like a New York market session. It's just so set you up for a move and then take your liquidity. Set you up for a move, take your liquidity, but we gave it the breathing room. Here we go. Where's the next local support if 88.6k Briggs? Oh, if this breaks, oh man. Let's go to the daily. So this is the highs here that we're looking at, that we're using right now as support, alongside with this buyer zone from the last value area that we're trying to get acceptance into right now as we speak. We have a demand zone right here, but we have another one right over to underneath it right here. We have a daily order block here that maybe we could tap if we went down this low. But what I would recommend you do is, oh, I just deleted an email. Wrap a box zone from the wick high to the wick low of that demand zone and look for opposing bullish confluences in that area. But the ceiling of this daily order block is pretty much the floor of this demand zone. So this will be your next spot you want to watch. This is 86.4. Acceptance into that would lead you to 83K, 83.3. I'm hoping we don't come down to there, but it's not up to us. Luckily, the picture right now is painting a reversal. We could do it. And we're just babysitting right now, honestly. This is the moment where like it's not even in your hands. You have no room for opposing reactions. So it's just like you set it. If you're someone who struggles with staring at the screen all day and you want to get better at like not doing that, this is the moment where like it's out of your hands, right? So what you could do is you can mark key levels where it might be back into your hands, where you can listen to the market and see if there's any opposing warnings to tell you to get out. Like this level here, we want to have this broken, of course. But if we get like a low time frame, like a 3-minute opposing change of character, then you might think about taking some off the table, or at least moving your stop loss to break even if you think it's going to start. It all depends. Yeah, I'd hope for a close above here, use it as support, hit that technical target. All right, we just hit the local SFP target from this move here. And now we have the double SFP target that's still yet to be hit, which is this move right here. And this doji day, man. A lot of indecision in this area. I think we got it. Okay. All right, guys. I think we're good. We'll just let it go. I'll keep you up to date inside the Discord on the rest of this trade. We're getting close to the next key moment where we just need to get above here, and then we're set. I think this is the big moment here. And by then, the 4-hour candle should close. Once we're above here, we don't have much time left on that. 53 minutes, and we'll have that 4-hour SFP, and we're off to the races. And we'll see if that FOMC meeting maybe helps pump it, but it's just started now, right? And we have the what else we have today? Oh yeah, NVIDIA earnings. That could also be conduit for a reversal. So if we're looking for the news event, it could be one of those two. But we also had a good bullish news story yesterday that kind of went under the radar. The banks being approved for holding cryptocurrencies. So they'll slap a good story on the green candle once it confirms. All right, guys, I got to head out. I appreciate everyone who's subscribing, liking, sharing. We're growing a lot faster. We just hit like 7K last week and we're already up like 140 subscribers. We do have a really cool deal going on so you can learn how to trade. We have, Black Friday deal going on where you get 50% off for life. We've never done a deal like that before. So if you want to check us out, we got a good course. It comes with the membership. You get courses with the membership. You don't have to pay any additional like upselling fees or anything like that for the course. So you get access to a 30-day course. You get access to a mindset course. You get signals from myself and other traders. And you have a big community to help you with any questions you might have, including myself. I'm just one @message away in the Discord, and you can get my help with any trade that you might be jumping into or any question you might have about TA in general to help fill in any missing gaps that the course might not have given you. All right, guys. You have a great day. Good luck on this trade. We're in this one together. I'll keep you up to date in the Discord of what I'm going to be doing going forward for the setup. If you're not a member or you might not be joining as a member, just be aware of these barriers. We have a barrier here that is also a key level for a continuation if broken at 89.6. At 90K is a psychological level, plus is the technical target of this downtrending broadening wedge. And that's where liquidity starts to go cold from the local structure. And then our next barrier and our final barrier that we really want to have broken in order to evolve this trade potentially to a swing trade is getting above this VWAP hourly order block or 15 or the 15-minute orb, whatever you want to call it, and the downtrending momentum. So we have a opposing bearish confluence cluster right here once this line where this line is. It all kind of begins at that moment that we really want to break through. But if we don't, then this is still a great trade. If you risk to lose $100 in this, you'd probably be getting close to 400, like 380 bucks, assuming we got out around here. So congrats, guys, so far. It's getting there. We just got to get that next key level break, and we're set. Darren does things. Thanks, Kyle. Been lurking. Loved your thought process here. All right, cool. Right on, man. All right, cool, guys. You have a great day, and I'll see you in the next call is in about an hour and 30 minutes where we do back testing and I answer any TA questions you guys got. All right, see you guys.